Today I'm going to go through some pointers on completing your IA1 assignment for digital solutions. So what we're going to do is to pretty much go through the downloading of the data you're going to need, a bit of programming and running everything in XAMPP. So I'm going to start up my XAMPP program from my desktop. So we can't do this on the school computers, so you'll have to do it either, there are 3 computers at the front of CG3 which have XAMPP installed and you can run it there, or you can install it and run it at home, which I would recommend. So today we're going to need, whenever we use XAMPP, we need Apache. We need to start that. It'll go yellow, then it'll go green. Once it goes green, it'll give you the port numbers and the PIDs, and also because we're using a database with SQL, we'll need to start up MySQL, and that's gone green and it's given me a port number, so we're all good. Just minimize that. So downloading our data set from Kaggle, the one that we're interested in, the superheroes NLP data set, just click on that. And we want to download it as a CSV. Okay, now this is a very big data set. I think I'm just going to do the download there, and that should work for me. There it goes into a file called archive, which I think I've already got on my downloads folder. And there it is there. So I'm just going to delete that second one. And I'm just going to open that one up again and just unzip it. So I've got the CSV file in my downloads, and there it is there, superheroes. So this is a Microsoft Excel CSV, comma separated values file, which is a little bit different to an Excel. You can convert it to an Excel. So what we're going to do is just take a few of these data sets out of the CSV file, or which is opening up in Excel, and we're going to have to put them into a thing called PHP MyAdmin. So I'm just going to stretch them out a little bit, and I'm just going to grab a few cells of information. So for this example and for your assignment, you'll only need 3 text values or text files and 3 integer or number values. So the ones I'm going to use for this example, and which you can use, or you might choose to do something a little bit different, I'm going to use obviously the name, the superhero name, we need that. The real name is important. I'm not going to worry about full name, but I'm going to use their powers. So that is a fairly big file, okay? But that'll be my 3 text files. And then for my integer data types, I'm going to use intelligence score, strength score, and power score. So those numbers there. So I'm just going to pick out a few and put them into my PHP MyAdmin. So to access PHP MyAdmin, you need to have XAMPP running. So we've got XAMPP running. So I'm going to just type in, make sure you've got local host. If you type in local host and PHP MyAdmin, that comes up because I've used it before. But if you put in localhost / PHP MyAdmin like that, that should bring up what you need. So when I click on that, it'll bring up this interface where I can develop a new database. So my database is called Super. I'm going to try to delete that one. If I can delete it. Drop maybe. We've done that, and okay. So I'm just going to leave that. So what you do is just click New, and I'll just call it superheroes for today. Okay. I've got super as a previous one, so I just recommend just calling it super. Keep things as simple as you possibly can to avoid any spelling errors. Anyway, I'm going to call this new one superheroes and click create. And then I'm going to need to make the table inside. So the number of columns I'll need will be 6, because I've got 3 text fields and 3 integer fields. And the name of that, I'm just going to call that super. Okay, it's a little bit, I've got different names for the table and the database, but we'll see how that goes. Just click go. So now it gives me, sorry, I need to add one more column because I've got the ID. So one more column. Now I've got 7 columns. The one that I need first is superhero ID. Okay, superheroes ID, or just could be super ID. I might just change that to super ID. Just make it a little bit. That's going to be an integer because it's going to be a number that keeps track of our ID. Now I will need the my text ones, so I'll need superhero name, superhero name. So I'm using camel humps there. That will be a text. I'll need real name. That will be a text. And I'll need powers, and that will be a text. Okay, now I've got 3 more to put in that, and these will be all integers, so I can leave that as it is. So the ones that I wanted were intelligence. So I'm just going to put that in as it is. Just got a spelling error there. And then I will need strength. That's an integer. And I will need power, I think it is. Power score. Just be careful because powers is a text field and power is an integer. So because they're different words, I can still have them. And then I just go down and go save. Okay, so when I look at if I look at structure, click on structure, there's my table called super, and if I click on that, it should give me the fields, super ID, superhero name, etc. And now I can start adding data to that. So I'm just going to make up some data for Superman because I know his super ID, superhero name, real name, and I can make up powers, and then I'll just make up some of those. But for yours, you'll need to put in maybe up to 10. Choose 10 superheroes and put in to populate this table. So this table in PHP-MyIn will interact with our PHP code, which will be sitting on our C drive. We can't actually put a real database, an SQLite database, in a folder and have it accessed by our PHP code. It doesn't actually work that way. So it's like a virtual server. It's a test run. If you want to do it in the way it will happen in real life, you've got to have a proper server, etc., etc. So I'm just going to pause the video now, and we'll go on to the next stage, part 2, in just a little moment.